Hey friend, did you make a New Year's resolution to meditate more? Or maybe to start meditating? So did I. So let's talk. Now there are lots of reasons why people want to meditate, and there are so many benefits to meditation for your mental health, even for your physical health. And a lot of people do it for those reasons, or even for focusing better on their job. So not necessarily for religious or spiritual reasons. And I appreciate all those reasons and all those benefits. And I won't go through all of them because you can Google all of them to find out. But for me, meditation is a spiritual practice. And that's why I wanted to make it into my New Year's resolution to meditate more regularly this year. Meditation is spiritual for me because for me, it's an opportunity to just present myself to God, so to speak, just to contemplate God and the fact that God is near and present, God is around me, and just to be still and allow God to work in my mind and in my heart without me having an agenda or words in a prayer state. And I can do that for myself, like just imagining God being near me and contemplating God, or also lifting up other people in prayer in a contemplative, kind of mindful, meditative prayer, so to speak. Now, I grew up in a religious tradition where we did not use a lot of contemplative prayers at all. We used verbal prayers and spontaneous kind of prayers, but usually very wordy. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I obviously still use prayers like that, and it's very helpful when you're praying with somebody else to be able to form into words the kind of petition or gratitude or whatever it is that you want to express with words. So there's a lot of good with that. But one risk that I think we run into when that's the only way that we pray is that sometimes we can get so attached to a specific outcome that you're praying for, or a specific request or a way that you pray, that sometimes we can get into this mindset that this is what should happen or what needs to happen, that whatever it is that you're praying for, when that's not necessarily true. So when I am in a meditative state, contemplative state, then I can just be and allow God just to be. It makes me kind of think of that word, the verse in Romans that says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. I feel like when I am able to be in a meditative, contemplative prayer state, then that's what God is doing, is renewing my mind and my heart, and I'm just enjoying that presence, that communion with God. So a couple of tips if you're wanting to get started with meditation or make it into a more regular practice. There are lots of different ways that people meditate, and there are lots of different guides about it. I'm just going to share one thing that I find personally helpful, which is Dr. Dan Siegel's Wheel of Awareness technique, which is basically guiding your awareness, pointing your awareness in different ways. And if you Google that, there are videos, there are guided meditations, and there are things you can read about it. But very basically, the first thing is to focus your awareness on your five senses, your physical sensations, what you're hearing, what you're smelling, what you're tasting, what is touching you, what you're seeing, and just really focus your awareness there. And then move your awareness to what's going on inside of your body. So your physical, inner, your process, your breath, your organs, what it feels, your muscles, is there tightness in your muscles, and those sorts of things. And then you move your awareness to what's going on internally in your mind. So your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, what's going on inside your inner self. And then finally, moving your awareness to the interconnectedness between us and everybody else. And then even awareness of awareness itself, which to me, that last piece of the interconnectedness and awareness of awareness, to me, it does include awareness of God and connection with God and that great being that's beyond me. So I find it helpful to do an adapted version of this and just move my awareness from, each category. It does help me get into that contemplative state. And of course, you will always have your thoughts interrupting, and then I just find it helpful to think, oh, I was thinking, now let me get back to directing my awareness to whatever it is I'm directing at the time. The other thing that I find helpful to use is an app called Timefully. It has a timer. It's made specifically for meditation. It helps you track your meditative sessions, and it has a timer. You can set the limit You can set if you want like a warm up and a cool down period, or just the timer for meditation itself. I typically set it for 15 minutes every day. There are some days that I may do more or less, but that's usually my go-to. And it's neat because it allows you to choose a kind of tree that you want to grow, and with every meditation session that tree grows a little bit more. So it's a neat way to keep you engaged and to see how often you're meditating and if you've missed any days and so forth. So that's what I find helpful. Let me know what you enjoy about meditation and what tips you have.